Welcome to another edition of Hawk TV. I'm Laniqua Woods.
And I'm Caleb Dalton. In this episode, we will tell you about the new TV station in Jackson and details from the ROTC field trip.
Plus, we'll be checking with Mr. Burnett's 4-block auto body class to find out what they are up to.
Don't go anywhere because Hawk TV starts now.
Welcome back. Caleb, have you met Miss Sherrod?
Yes, she's the testing coordinator and she's been very busy this week. Hawk TV reporter Jamario Chandler talked to her about her experience at Southside.
Miss Sherrod works on testing that goes on at Southside. This means that Miss Sherrod is in charge of the scores as they come in.
I'm the data coach and I deal with all the tests, any data that I need to work on from the school, ACT scores when they come back, EOC scores when they come back, graduation data, things like that. That's a lot of numbers and a lot of tests.
You probably heard her name on intercom. However, the announcement reader more likely got it wrong.
I would say probably of the people I meet wherever I go, 70 to 75% get it wrong.
Okay. Can you pronounce her name?
Miss Sherrod. Which one? Miss Sherrod? Sherrod? I don't know.
This one? Miss Sherrod.
Sherrod or Sherrod. Sherrod.
Sherrod.
I don't know how to say it.
Sherrod. Okay, Sherrod.
Wow.
Can you pronounce her name?
Mrs. Sherrod.
Alright, thank you.
It's actually Sherrod.
Next time you see her, make sure that you pronounce Miss Sherrod's name correct. For Hawk TV, I'm Jamario Chandler.
Thanks, Jamario. He may land himself a job on TV one day. Speaking of which, Caleb, did you know there's a TV news station in Jackson?
Yes, Laniqua. I recently caught up with one of the reporters. WMBJ is the new NBC television affiliate in West Tennessee. WMBJ reporter Jackson Overstreet recently stopped by the Hawk TV studio to talk about the new station.
My name is Jackson Overstreet, and I am a multimedia journalist for WNBJ NBC 39 here in Jackson.
Overstreet, along with his colleagues, is excited to help WNBJ grow in the Jackson area.
Yeah, I think it kind of starts with us. It's me and my co-reporter Caitlin. It's us going out there and meeting people. It's our salespeople going out and meeting people. Word of mouth is a very powerful way to kind of move about. I think another thing that's kind of been undersold that we're looking into a lot more is Facebook. We post art packages every single day on Facebook.
WNBJ plans to report on more community-based stories instead of putting an emphasis on crime stories as other news stations would.
Yeah, so our company's, the parent company's philosophy, Waypoint Media, they always talk about building the community, and their whole story is about paying it forward. So our stories, yeah, well, yesterday I covered a fire that ended up killing a man. It was a house fire. We'll do those stories when they're big enough and they warrant our attention, but our focus is much more on the community. We'll do the community stories.
If you're interested in watching WNBJ, it's channel 4 on JEA cable, but for over-the-air antenna, it's channel 39. For Hawk TV, I'm Caleb Dalton. Mr. Barnett's 4th block class is working on a cool new project. Hawk TV reporter Laniqua Woods has more on the story.
The Southside auto body class is busy this semester, completing work on several cars and trucks, including this truck.
A Dodge Dakota.
The truck will receive a fresh coat of paint, but many steps have to be taken before the paint is applied.
Well, we're just fixing dents and prepping it for primer.
Logan and his fellow classmates preparing for another project.
We got this old Chevy truck in front of us right here that we're working on, but it's going to take a while to finish it.
Auto body is just one of the many careers and technical class here at Southside. For Hawk TV, I'm Laniqua Woods. Hawk TV will be right back after this commercial break.
You're watching Hawk TV. We are soaring to find fresh news.
The ROTC cadets traveled to Milan to a National Guard facility on a field trip. Hawk TV reporter Adam Steinmetz caught up with a couple cadets to talk about their experience.
Have you ever fired a gun? Well, members of the Southside NGOTC unit have. They traveled to a National Guard base in Milan to learn about handling a gun.
All of us cadets, we loaded up on the bus, went out to Milan, didn't nobody know what to expect. And we showed up there. We had Sergeant Dunn and Sergeant Whitehead talk to us about shooting M4s and MKs, and we learned a lot about the weapons themselves and how to shoot them.
We shot guns and 8 MREs.
The cadets did everything from learning how to load a gun to shooting the gun.
Actually did. Me and one other cadet, RCO Brandon Alford, were the only people to get the ribbon. And I can't really tell you why. I just tell you my shooting was straight, I controlled my breathing, and that's pretty much the biggest factor is your breathing.
No, because I didn't shoot no targets hardly.
Shooting a gun can be difficult to do. I asked the cadets if they have advice about shooting a gun.
Oh, I can't really give any advice except to say make sure you're on the next field trip.
Make sure it's triggered right and that you listen to what the Army people have to say to you so that you don't hurt other people.
Well, cadets, next time you go to the National Guard base in Milan, here's what you do to get qualified for the ribbon.
The highest you can make a 40. You have 40 different targets and you have to shoot at least, I think, 23 to pass. Whereas me and Brandon, we both shot 26. But the highest you can get is 40, and that is extremely hard, being some of the targets are 300 meters, 900 feet out.
The guns were not made for actual shooting. They were modified for the cadets' safety and enjoyment. They didn't use real bullets, they were simulated. For Hawk TV, I'm Adam Steinmetz.
William James is back for another Science Dash.
Welcome to Science Dash. I'm William James, and this week we will talk about dinosaurs. Sinosauropteryx is the earliest dinosaur we found outside of living dinosaurs, birds, that bears evidence of feathers. It lived during the Cretaceous period in northeastern China some 130 million years ago. In a new study published in the magazine Current Biology, researchers have produced an even better picture of the dinosaur. 3 fossils whose melanin pigment was still well preserved allowed the scientists to reconstruct the dark-hued colors of the animals. They found a mask around the eyes of the dinosaur and striped patterns down the back. Also in dinosaur news, this toothy dinosaur described recently in the magazine Scientific Reports was found in the south of France, among a group of bones from other dinosaurs and reptiles. It's named Matheronodon. All that remains of the species is an 8-inch long piece of right upper jaw and a few loose teeth that may have come from other specimens. The researchers estimate, based on the jaw size, that the dinosaur could have grown up to 16 feet long. The creature's teeth were up to 2.5 inches and 2 inches wide. It lived during the Cretaceous period some 70 million years ago. The dinosaurs probably ate the leaves of palm trees, which were plenty in Europe at that time. It's theorized that it's a primitive iguanodon relative.
Seniors, your community service hours are due to Miss Freeman by December 12th. This is only for the community service medallion to wear at graduation.
Seniors, if you have not picked up your fundraiser packet to sell butter braids for project graduation, you can go by the Tech Prep office and pick one up.
Well, that's it for Hawk TV. I'm Caleb Dalton.
And I'm Laniqua Woods. As Chloe Matthews always says, today's a great day to be a Hawk.